Now we'd like to go on the worldwide trends journey and try to see the impact of the personalization and what's really happening now with the development in Africa. So I'm glad to call on stage. Maybe while they are going to be mic'd up. I'm really glad to introduce to you Lika and Vanessa. So Lika is the managing director and the co-founder of Crystal Credit in Africa. She's been with the company in Africa since 2016, and before that she was operation manager for Crystal Credit International in the US, and she's based in Ivory Coast, having a track record of analyzing credit solvencies of companies and helping them better accessing that data about the business part of the access to the business data. And Vanessa Aka, she's the co-founder of Digit AR. She has an MBA in e-marketing from Paris. And after working in France in a digital agency, she also worked 1 year with the telecom company in Côte d'Ivoire. And she experienced the first digital transformation, which amazed her so much that she decided to go with her own company to help businesses do their digital transformation in Africa. So, Lika, Vanessa, welcome on stage.
Thank you, Stephanie. Hi, everybody. So as Stephanie was saying, I am Lika and this is Vanessa. We came from Ivory Coast to co-present to you about worldwide trends. As Stephanie was saying, Vanessa is working in digital communications, and I work in a different sector than what we've seen so far, which is credit reporting. So it's still about data collection, a bit different, but still about data collection. Since there are over 50 countries in Africa, obviously we are going to try to be as general as possible, and we will have a focus on West Africa. Vanessa, you want to? Okay, go ahead.
Hello? Okay, it's okay. So I was saying, excuse my English because I'm not very fluent, so don't hesitate to stop me. Okay, so I'm here to talk. Do you hear me? Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about big data in Africa. So we all heard about these two words, big data. In my continent, but especially in the French-speaking country in West Africa, data is hard to access, is hard to find. When you find them, it's hard to access. When you access them, it's hard to use. So we got two big issues, is collecting the data and the exploitation of the data. When you go in companies or even in government, in administration, you can find rooms full of papers because actually this is the way we collect the data. This is how we used to collect data, just with paper and collect the things. But this is very bad thing because of natural disaster, there is a lot of risk to loss of this information. We have time degradation. Sometimes you use a paper and there is no more writing on it. We got fire, we can have flooding, things like this. So this is not a good way to keep the thing. And now, thanks to this new world, we have find new ways to have our data. Because actually, how the continent is it? We are 2 billion people on this continent. On these around 2 billion people, there is 34% of them were internet users, but were daily internet users, okay? 15% are active social media users. And this number is very important because we got 82% of mobile connection on the continent. When I say mobile connection, I'm talking about smartphone, but also little phone, I don't know, not smart, just phone, just like Nokia 3037, exactly, all type of phone. We got 82% of mobile connection on the continent. So we can say that internet with 34% and mobile connection with 82% of penetration changed the game. The game is already changing. So now, as we say, we used to have collect data on the paper way. Now we can collect data with a digitized, this is the good word, sorry for my English, with a digitized way. So we can say data is now digitized. We got 3 ways of collecting the data actually. We got data via mobile, smartphone, tablets, because of all this mobile connection. We have data via social network, Google Analytics, and we have data with Internet of Things. That's the 3 ways we collect data actually in West Africa, French-speaking country. So this is the 3 things that change our game. I will talk to you about the 3 things. So now, data via mobile, smartphone, and tablet. Thanks to telco. Telco is a big player in African country. It's a big player because it's a changer. It's changed the game. So with telco, we now have user data. Subscriber identification is subscriber identification is you have to be identified if you want to use your phone in the continent. So everybody means to subscribe and have this phone identified. So now with this identification, we know who is the user and what he is doing with every cell phone. We have geolocation. We all know what it is. We have mobile money. I don't think everybody know what mobile money is. Mobile money is a financial revolution on the continent because bankarization is a big problem in Africa. Most of people have no access to a bank. So now we create this mobile money. Actually, it was created in Asia. But mobile money is a good thing because you got your wallet on your cell phone. And it don't need to be put on a bank account. Without having a bank account, you got all your money on your cell phone. You can buy bills. You can go to the restaurants. You can transfer money for someone in another city of the country or even in other country. So it's a thing that is really used in the continent by people, and you just have to have a phone. Your phone don't need to be a smartphone. It's just a simple phone who can help you doing all these transactions. We have internet connection. We have USSD code. I don't know if you know what USSD code is. USSD code is a service online who work with SMS. You just write an SMS and you have an answer. And you have all types of answers. You can show your horoscope. Say, okay, you send an SMS. I'm a tourist. I want to know how my day will be. And you have your horoscope via SMS. You can know pharmacy on duty. You can know, consult your airtime because airtime is very expensive in the continent. Internet is expensive, so people used to consult their airtime frequently to know, oh, do I have enough data to do what I want to do today? So this is thing we can consult with mobile, smartphone, and tablets. Then we have social network data. I think you all know what it is. We can have insight with Facebook, insight with Twitter, Google Analytics. They give us data, and agency collect this data and let company know what's happened with their clients. We also have data via Internet of Things. The thing is, contrary to Europe or United States, Internet of Things is not very developed in West Africa. What it is, there are people who got watch, Google Home, things like this. But for us, it's like this is a thing for entertainment. But government and company needs Internet of Things to help them improve their business, to help them resolve problem. So we don't really think about music. As you can see on music, movies, show like this. This is not interesting for us. We need solution. We need solution for the continent. So there is some companies such as mine who create mini solution. The one we are is named AGC. This is a solution put on your cell phone to help you collect data on the ground every time in real time. So this is the 3 ways we collecting data in the continent. But the thing is, it's good to collect data. It's good. We want data. We have the data. We know where to find them. But what are we doing with all this data that now we can collect? That is the problem here. How is collecting data profitable for company in their daily activities? The thing is, if you're a company or even a government, you can use the data you collect in order to have a head start of the competitor, in order to predict market trends, or even for government to monitor or evaluate the development plans they made. But the thing is, the collecting is okay, but the exploitation is very, very difficult because of a lot of things. As you can see, we got the lack of legal framework on the West continent. We have no GDP rule, no GDP law. Everybody can do what they want to do. So the thing is, the framework is not legal. The legal framework is difficult. So things are really going in a sense and in another way. Data are not secure, data are not structured. Everybody write the data the way they want to write, the way they want to write it. As cell phone, somebody writes 2 numbers, 3 numbers, some put the indicative before, some not. So data is not structured, and it's difficult for a company to organize all this. And companies do not have a system of information which is suitable, because there is less than 40% of the company who invest in a system, in an information system in French-speaking country in the West continent. And exchange between collector of the data and analysts are done by mutual agreement. That means there is no rule on the market. There is no rule for monetization on the market. You take your data, you send it to who you want to send it at the price you choose. There is nothing else. And there are no adequate infrastructure to explore the data, and also there is a lack of skills. What I mean by lack of skill, we have no university or no college on the West Continent to learn to people how to use big data, how to collect, how to explore big data. And even in companies do not invest in training for the employee. Do not invest in training on the employee for big data or even for data collection. So this is the big problem here, because this is difficult to explore the data even if we have a lot of them. So as we can say that the future is bright, okay? We are not pessimist people. The future is very bright because we got data, as I used to say, we got solution, we got device. The only thing we need to know actually is how to explore our data in order to personalize our marketing, our communication. This is the big deal actually. But I think this is how I say the future is very, very bright because we will have time to explore it. We know that this is important actually to explore the data. We know that this is where we want to go. So actually this is how we're gonna achieve this. I don't know if I'm clear. Again, excuse my English. So the big problem is how we're gonna achieve this point actually. But I'm sure, as I said to you, the future is very, very bright. Okay.
Thank you, Vanessa. She's coming back after me. So as Vanessa was saying, all of those lacks that she listed, lack of framework, lack of skills, lack of structure, this means, okay, there is a lot of lacks, but it means a lot of opportunities also. So there is room for improvement. I'm going to talk to you about something a bit different before she comes back. It's about data collection in the industry of credit reporting. What is credit reporting? Very briefly, it's about collecting data, analyzing it, and giving a rating so that the clients know if they can grant a credit line or not to such and such company. The issues that we are facing in collection of credit data is that the data is not structured. As Vanessa was saying, the information is in big rooms and all in the paper format. Digitalization of all those data is taking a lot of time, mostly in the administration, the registry of commerce, the tax administrations, customs, etc. And it's an issue to gather them and structure them. Major breaks to this is that companies and governments, they fear fraud, they fear competition, they fear collusion, they fear corruption. So this is an issue in the structuration of the data. Also, we are talking about cash-based economies. As Vanessa was saying, mobile money is very big because a lot of people do not have a bank account. I think the latest figures are that less than 30% have a bank account in West Africa. So we are really working in cash-based economies. So it's very difficult for companies and governments to track, for example, financial transactions because they are not structured. The consequences is that the lenders, the financial companies, they don't have access to the data on their customers. So the consequence of that is that they are not granting loans, they are not granting credit lines that the companies need to develop. which is a big issue because if the companies cannot get the financing that they need, they cannot develop. So this issue in accessing data is an issue in getting the financing that companies and people need. If we look on at the outlook, there have been some improvement in addressing because, don't laugh, but the addressing is like if you want to access a location, it's not going to be a street number or street name. It's going to be, okay, you turn left after the bank, and then you will get to this big tree at the end of the street, and the house is in front of that big tree. So if they cut the tree, you don't have any more address. So this is about how the addressing works. There has been some improvement, especially in Ivory Coast. We now have street names. Nobody knows those street names, but they are there. We still have the tree, so that's fine. So there has been some improvement in the addressing. We now have geolocation. We can use Google Maps. So there are some improvements. It's taking time, but still. Also, the public registries are getting structured. They are making some efforts. There again, it's taking time, but still they are making some efforts. Now in Ivory Coast, since this year, actually, we can file our taxes online. Before that, it was really everything paper. You had to go with all your paperwork to the administration and file it there. Now we can file it. We are supposed to file it online. The system was not working because it was the first time, but still, we are getting there. Maybe next year. Also, we expect mobile money to really drive the financial inclusion. People are using their mobile money to do everything. Pay bills, as you were saying, transfer money. So really, they are really accessing some financial services that they don't have to go through a bank account to access, because with the bank you have to file a lot of paperwork and provide a lot of documentation to have a bank account. With your mobile money, it's much more simple. That's why companies are using credit bureaus and companies like mine, business information agencies, to be able to access data and have a sort of analysis of the data in order to know if they can provide financing or not to their clients or to individuals. Okay, so I give you back the floor.
Okay, thank you, Lika. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about digital advertising in my country. What the trends are. First trend is banner advertising. This is the first thing because this is easy. It looks like the old thing we used to do. You just find a good website with good target close to you. You just have the space, the price they give you, and you put your ad on it. After you have the report to know how many people click on it, how many people saw your ad, etc. So it's very easy. So everybody use this, and it's work on every type of advice, especially on mobile, because as I said, 82% of mobile penetration in the continent, and people used to have the mobile to look at internet, to look advertising, things like this. So this is the first thing, the first way we do when we get digital advertising. The second, but not the least, is social media. With 200 million people, around 200 million people on Facebook, so in Africa, social media is a revolution on the continent. It's like, we know we have to go on social media. To do what? We don't know. Well, we know we have to be there. How, what to say, to who, is not a problem. You say, go to Facebook, okay, I go there. That is the way we think at the beginning. But now, company begins that there is something to do there. So they work with agencies, and they work with people to have a strategy to align on this Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and all type of media we can have on the social network. So Facebook take such an importance, as I say, that they go without strategy. And the thing is, Facebook is for free, we all know. It's free to have a Facebook account, to have a Twitter account, Instagram account, everything. Even if sponsoring is you have to buy from sponsoring, to have the page is free. To have a website, you have to pay. You have to pay someone to develop your website, you have to pay for the name of domain, you have to pay for your hosted, things like this. So people rather go on social media because of people, company rather go on social media because this is cheaper than going on website. And social media is already, social, especially as Facebook, is already first when we go on the Google page. If you have a Facebook page or thing like this, you can find your company on the first results. But if you got a website and you don't do the search engine optimization, nobody can find you. So that's the thing. They go in on the social media because it's the easy way to do. So people like to go there. As you say, there is many social networks that we use, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Facebook is still the first. I want to say that when we talk about West Africa, it is West Africa, French-speaking country, no Nigeria, because Nigeria is a country very different of all the continents. They are the way of working. So I'm not talking about Nigeria, I'm talking about this because Nigeria has its own social network working on the country for everybody. So Nigeria is not in it, please. Also, as we said before, there is a lack of legal framework on the continent. Lack of legal framework on data structuration, but also of many things, as Lika used to say. So Facebook is an opportunity for informal business to be launched and to communicate. Because there is a lot of informal business on the continent. People are home selling shoes, are home giving advice, are home, and this is a business, and the business is working. But they can be on TV, they can be on radio, because they have no money. But with Facebook, as I say, this is cheaper. So that's the way for them to communicate and be visible for everybody. Also, companies know that this is important because there is, at the beginning, a lot of companies didn't trust this and say, okay, I don't want to go there because first, I don't know how it is, I don't know how to use it. But what's happened on the continent? You're a company, you don't open a Facebook page. Okay, somebody one day create a page, give the name of your company on the page, and write anything they want to write. So there is a lot of companies who wake up in the morning and saw a Facebook page on the name with their logo, their color, their graphic thing and everything, but this is not the page. So now they say, okay, we have to create our own page in order to in order to prevent this, in order to prevent all these things. So this is the two things why people go to social network. Also, as yesterday we saw Devo, an influencer from Croatia, and in the continent, we know that influencer is very important. It can help us sell products, it can help us sell services. So now companies also invest in influencers. They invest in influencers, they invest in agencies because they don't know how to do a strategy on the social network. So invest in agencies such as mine to help them construct the strategy and then find the good social network because you don't always have to be on Facebook if Facebook is not the good thing for you. Maybe your customer is on Twitter, maybe your customer is on LinkedIn or everything else. So Facebook is not always the answer. So we are here to help them choose the good network, the good social network, and to help them build a strategy to know how to attack the social network. Also, there is a lot of consumer because in our continent there is no platform for consumer. There are no voice. No voice to say we are not agree, we are not content price is too big, etc. So now Facebook is their platform. They can go on Facebook and say everything they want to say about any brands and anything. So brands know we have to be on Facebook in order to prevent this, in order to prevent bad buzz. We have to be here to respond to all the consumers and all the people who are on the social network just for us. So now this is a trend. Brand and company work with agency, with influencer, and have community manager and intern. We also know about video advertising. We all know YouTube is a big revolution on the continent also, because on most West Africa, there are maximum 2 channels, two national channels. Other are channels from France, United States, things like this. We have 2 national channels. So if you want to put an ad about your company, you have to be on one of these 2 channels. And this is very expensive, and there is no space for everybody. So now they understand that we can be on YouTube. People are on YouTube. You can put our ad on YouTube if you can put it on the other TV, radio, and things like this. So YouTube is very working on the continent, and this is the way for people to put their ad and to reach their target. We also have search advertising. I think you all know about this. We don't very put money in this because, as we say, people don't have, all companies have a website, and they don't really believe in search engine optimization because the result is not immediate. They rather put their money on search engine marketing because they know what campaign they are paying for. They know what type of result they can receive. They know the target they are pushing, and they can make easy projection. So search engine marketing is way better than search engine optimization actually on the continent. But I'm sure this is about to change because people understand the thing, they understand the issue. So this is about to change. We just have to be patient. So as I say, companies are on the continent using digital advertising more and more. As I said before, now we have data. So we have data, we have digital marketing. The thing is, we don't know how to explore our data. This is difficult for us to personalize the digital marketing with the data we have. So some companies, such as mine, do what we call web to SMS. Web to SMS is more personalized because we send SMS to customers, such as insurance companies send SMS to say, oh, okay, Lika, your insurance company finished tomorrow. Please come and change it. We send SMS to say, okay, you buy this dress yesterday. We have a jean I think you can like, so please come and see our new jean. So SMS is very a good thing to personalize the digital marketing, but actually this is the only thing. We also have newsletter, but not in the same way. Very SMS is the best thing actually if you want to talk about personalization. We do advertising on Facebook, on Twitter, but not in a personalization way. Yeah, we also add chatbot on Facebook. Every company used to have chatbot. We talked about this yesterday with a robot to talk to you and respond immediately to all the questions you have. So this is the thing we also use on the continent, and this is the good thing. So what is the return of investment of all this? What I say the thing is, we understand digital communication. We know digital communication is important, but as we say, we do not have all the skills to use the digital communication. So actually, in company, digital communication budget is low. And if company got a problem, this is the very first budget they cut. The very first budget they cut is a digital communication budget because they think, okay, we still have radio, we still have TV, we still have flyer, billboard, and things like this. We know how they work. We rather work with this than put it on digital communication. Because the thing is, we all know digital communication, you can calculate the profit immediately. Profit can take time on digital communication, and the only thing important for any company and to measure the success of the company is the profit. So this is why this is the first thing that they cut on company. But they still believe in it. They still know there is something to do. They still know there is strategy to do. They still know that people are here because we are the Y generation. And Africa is a very young continent, so they know that the target is here. You just take time to know how to address it. Also, governments put the digital things. Actually, in the continent, we all talk about e-government, because government is about Alcelica to taxes is now on the internet. So government do everything to digitalize the process and digitalize the thing on the continent. They push companies to go digital. There is forum at least every 2 months on the country. Every 2 months of every month and a half, there is a forum about digitalization. They make people from other countries, for other continents, for big companies to come and to talk, because they want us to understand this is the future. This is where we have to go. We are mobile, we got internet, we got young people. This is what they are looking for. So actually, I think at Celica, there is a lot of opportunity on the continent. We got opportunity. We got opportunity. We got young people. We got mobile. We got internet. We know how to communicate in it. And now all we have to do is go bigger, to see bigger, and help people like you just come and help us sometimes to understand the issue and to help us know how to improve our way to communicate on a digital way and also to explore our data. I think this is all. So the conclusion, I can say, most African countries understand the importance of digitalization, as I say. Mobile helps the democratization of internet because we all have a mobile, we can use it. Analysis remains the big issue. Personalization is a challenge. Government is here to help and to push on, and return on investment remain the basic issue because, as I say, profit is not immediate, and that's the only thing that can block any company. That's all. Right question.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lika, Vanessa. I think this has been really, really interesting, and a lot of it's bringing a lot of information and of let's say different cultural approach. Yeah. And I'm going to open the floor to questions but I just have one on this cultural shift, because we're talking about personalization, and here in Europe, we now talk more, about the personalized offer. You heard everything yesterday, but how do you make sure that you really get to your customer? But I guess culture is also a very important element, culture and language. What you said with addresses, we would never think of that here, but this is very important. If you want to target the person, you first have to know where they are and which culture is important and in which language you have to address and so on. So do you see it as very big also, the cultural? How is the cultural communication with big players like the Facebooks, the Googles, even the telco, and yourself going on? What is the bridge between the big multinational companies and the different culture?
When it's a big national company, you're talking about only social network company or all type of companies?
Yeah, whatever, but social network or big telcos.
Okay, big telcos. But actually, with telcos and big companies, we try actually they try to understand the continent. So they're more close to influencers.
Okay.
Because influencers are very important for social networks such as Facebook. So they work a lot with them to help them understand what's happened on the continent. How the continent is it? They always work with companies such as mine or older to help them provide data on the continent and to help them understand the way people are thinking. I don't know if I really answer your question. The way people are thinking and the way we have to advert on the continent in order to make sure that you reach the target. That's the most important thing. So actually my company, we work with big players sometimes and we try to find solution. As I say, we create some solution just at the web to SMS or another one that we call AGC. That's a solution to collect data on the ground on real time. And the solution is also think about the time that internet is not okay on the internet connection is not good. So it takes the fact that even internet connection is not good, they keep the data on your cell phone, and as long as you reach the connection, the data is sent exactly, is pushed to the person. So we take all these issues in consideration to make the better solution for the continent and for people.
Do you have any question? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Vincent?
Hi, Vincent from London Digital Ventures. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was really enlightening. Many questions, but I'll just stick to one. Back to the data economy, which was really the beginning of your presentation. And we all understand whether it's about microcredit, mobile money, or digital advertising, you need data at some stage. What do you think are the one or two key things which need to happen in order to really unleash the potential of the data economy, in order to make data more structured, in order to make data more usable, etc.? What are the the two key things which need to happen?
You want to answer?
The first thing to me that needs to happen is really training. The lack of skills is a big issue. And really, as Vanessa was saying, we have the infrastructure is moving, things are moving, and you have a lot of infrastructure being set into place, some efforts in digitalization, in structuration. But if you don't have the people who know how to use it, then it's pointless. If nobody knows how to use it, you can have all those beautiful things happening, but if nobody knows how to use them, or that they have to use them, really it's pointless. So really the training for me, it's the biggest thing to happen. Today we have business owners of SMBs or even big companies. They go digital because someone told them you have to go digital, but they don't consider it as something essential. So if anything bad happens to the company, as we said, this is the first budget that is going to be cut, because to them it's not essential, because they really have no idea why they are doing it or what is in it for them. They just went digital because someone told them to do so, but they have not been trained about what is in it for them.
I think I can complete. Okay, if I want to complete Lika's answer, because ask about two things, we also need a legal framework. Because I would say data has no structure, there is no security on data, monetization is complicated, things are sold from people to another people without agreement, so we really need a legal structure. So I think if we get the legal framework, It will be better for everybody and for the situation of the data, as you ask.
Any other question, Paul? You have one?
My question is for Rebecca. If I'm a small business in Côte d'Ivoire, where do I go to buy my digital advertising?
So
To Vanessa.
Sorry,
Can you
sorry to
repeat,
Vanessa.
please? Can you repeat, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if I'm a small business in Côte d'Ivoire, where do I go to buy my digital advertising?
If you have a small business in Ivory Coast, where you go? This is
Yeah.
to buy your digital advertising?
Who's my vendor? Who do I buy from?
Okay, if you will buy
If I want to buy...
exactly, that's what I mean. You come to see me. You come to see me, and Nancy, I'm here for that. You come to see me, and there is also other digital agency on the continent, in Ivory Coast. At the beginning, we were only 1, 2, but I can say that actually we are around 15 companies who are specialized in digital communication.
So I have to mainly go through an agency?
Yeah, you may go to an agency. It's better. It's better.
Any other point? I mean, if not, I really want to thank you both for
Time is.
coming to the session. I hope you also enjoy the rest of the conference and get some good insights. And you're going to be with us tonight too. So if you have some questions directly to Lika and Vanessa, they're going to be staying with us for the rest of the conference. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
I now.